Hey, very warm welcome back to the Saints transfer show. Not only is it transfer news today, we've got Saints news. We're going to cover everything that happened at the weekend. We're going to cover all the transfer news. We're going to look ahead to the weekend slightly. I've got a guest joining me on the channel later on this week from Wrexham. So, proper pre match show coming your way. And we will get you guys involved in the conversation as well. I will get your comments involved. I want you to be a part of this show as much as I am. I want your opinions. I want your thoughts. But we will start with the Saints news and a bit of reaction to what Will Steele had to say at the weekend after the game against Brighton and Hove Albion. If you were there, we'd love to hear your thoughts on the game at the weekend. I really enjoyed it, actually. It was great to go and get back inside St Mary's. It felt quite tentative, actually, and it definitely felt like there was a little bit of a hangover from last year. Everybody was a bit nervy, even though it was a friendly. So I dread to think what it's going to be like for the first 25 minutes against Wrexham at the weekend. Just hopefully we get that first goal. But the reaction to the game was, I thought the final 25, 30 minutes, Saints played really well. And we actually have a manager that makes really good changes. He did make really good changes the weekend. I love the way he switched the back with three centre-backs. Went with sort of two full-back stroke wing-backs. Tucked Ryan Fraser inside a bit, sort of a bit deeper in midfield. And he added Jay Robinson, I thought was really good. But for me, there was two real big takeaways, actually, from the game. For anybody that wasn't there, I didn't cover it in my instant reaction video, and I'm an idiot for not doing it, was Moses Sesse. I thought he was absolutely phenomenal in central midfield. I thought he was good. I did a tweet on it this morning. I thought he was absolutely brilliant. His performance was like fearless. Like, I love the fact you've got him and Robinson, and also Quasi as well. And Downs, the striker, they're coming in and they're fresh, and they haven't got that last season scarring on them. Do you know what I mean? And I like that. I think that we need more freshness. We need more fresh body for the door, and hopefully they can get that done. We'll cover all the transfer news later on in this show. Ben Carroll, thank you for your membership, mate. As a member, just a shout out for anybody that is a member of the channel. I am dropping my championship predictions to members only first. So you're going to get till tomorrow lunchtime before anybody else to watch them. So I've done my championship predictions for the season. I'm going to drop it, and I think you'll really enjoy it. It's a really good video. It took me a long time to put it together. It was a whole evening's work to piece it together, but I was pleased with the outcome of it. That is for sure. I will get involved. Get involved in the comments box below, and I will share all your chats as we go. That is for sure. There is a bit of breaking news I put on the right hand side of your screen, though it's not really breaking. Joe Aribo was given headspace over the weekend. We'll cover that as well, and I'll give you my opinion on it. Right, let's go back to what Will Steele had to say after the game at the weekend. He did talk about the injuries because there were players missing. There were players that were missing, and we were like, well, were they left out because there's transfer speculation? Or is it a little bit more than that? Taylor Harwood-Bellis is the first story I want to cover, because Will Steele did go on to say that Taylor Harwood-Bellis will not be fit to face Wrexham at the weekend. No surprise to that one. He's hoping that Flynn Downs will be back for the opening game on Saturday, but I don't see for 1 minute he'll be anywhere near ready to start this game. But Harwood-Bellis has been back in training at Staplewood last week. He remains around 2 weeks away in returning to match action. Still went on to say, I think Harwood-Bellis has probably got another 10 days to go. He said this on Saturday. He's only just joined training in the latter stages of last week. So there's no danger that I don't think he probably plays a great deal, Harwood-Bellis, anytime before the transfer window closes. Because you think the time to get him up to speed, it'll take a little while. They'll probably have to give him, he probably won't even be ready for that Northampton Cup game, because that's like literally a week away, isn't it now? It's come up to like a week away to the EFL Cup game, because that's pretty much straight on the back of the game at the weekend. Flynn Downs missed the whole of the training camp over in Spain, in Girona. He wasn't there, and Will Steele was asked about him. He wasn't involved in either of the games of the weekend. There was 2 games for people that don't know, people that are not so close to the club, that tune in, that are overseas. So at the weekend, there was a game against Brighton and Hove Albion that was open to the fans. It's a 3:30 kickoff. Before that, they had a behind closed doors friendly where a select 11 played a 60-minute game. Downs wasn't involved in that. Like I said, he missed that trip to Girona, and he this is what Still said, this was his words. He hasn't trained yet, and he's had loads of little niggles. He has had niggles, persistent niggles, I think it was, that I read somewhere a few days ago. Ben Brereton Diaz wasn't involved either, and he went on to say he's locked his hips. I've never heard of this before. I don't know how you lock your hips, but he said that he's struggling with sore groins and hips, and he doesn't want to be forcing players at this moment in time. Will Smallbone, he didn't feature in either of the games either. He's injured. He landed on his arm and his hand. He's got an injury, and he's still in a fair bit of pain. It apparently swelled up quite badly afterwards. He landed awkwardly following a collision whilst in Girona, and it looks like, he's suffering. Whether he'd be ready for the weekend, I don't know. Didn't hear any more on that. The other two injuries that were both left out of the weekend. Sam Adozi there's a bit of talk around him. Is he going? Is he staying? He wasn't left out for any other reason, other than the sounds of it, that he was injured. They both picked up injuries, Charlie Taylor and Sam Adozi, at the training camp in Girona. They haven't trained since they've been back in England. That was up until the weekend. So both of those have not trained. But Will still did go on to say, I'm not worried as such. We don't want to force players back into anything stupid with them. We will just see how this week goes, which is pretty sensible, really. Then he was obviously asked loads of questions about Fernandes, whether he's staying. He's asked about Dibling. Look, they've got interest in both, and we'll come on to Fernandes very, very shortly. There is loads of conversation about both those players. He wants obviously to keep them, but he knows there's noise around them, and they've got valuations, the pair of them. He did go on to say that the club are aligned in terms of their needs. We need flair, needed added to the squad. There's no doubt about that. Ahead of the championship campaign, and they do. We do need some flair. There's no doubt about that. But it was 2-2 the game. I thought it was a good comeback, really. Jay Robinson's deflected goal. It was a nice strike, but it took a pretty wicked deflection. Adam Armstrong, whose body language again I thought was a little bit off. Whether he's just not quite in the groove at the moment, just trying to find that confidence. Did score a penalty. I thought that was really good. But Minter had scored both the goals at Brighton, which were identical. And I think a lot of people were calling out young Quasi for not getting out to him and putting him under pressure. I think it's a pre-season friendly. I think it's really difficult to judge it all. But yeah, look, he's still young. There's a long way to go. Whether that is the centre-back partnership at the weekend, I'm not sure. I think he'd go through at the back the weekend still after what he saw later on in the game, because Ronnie Edwards come on, played right side centre back, and he was absolutely tremendous when he come on. I thought he played really well. But Saints nearly won the game. Shay Charles did nearly get Saints a winner, hit the post late in the game, and I thought it was an impressive end against a Premier League side. And a lot of people were really, really downbeat on social media, thinking they see Ryan Fraser starting, Adam Armstrong, and the way the team was set up. I do think we've got more than enough to give Wrexham a really good game the weekend, and we should be more than favourites to win that game against Wrexham at the weekend. There is no doubt about that. I will come to all your comments very, very shortly. So, like I said, Sam Adozi, Charlie Taylor, both injured. That's why they weren't involved. Fernandes was ill at the weekend, obviously, as well, which we covered in the instant reaction video. Joe Rebo given headspace. We'll come on to the transfer chat now. He's not. He needed headspace. I don't know why. Obviously, he's in the final year of his contract. If he needs headspace, not interested in being here. On your bike, mate. Go and drive you where you want. We don't want players right now that don't want to be here. Doesn't want to be here. On you go. On your jog. We need committed players now, and I think that's the big thing. You start looking into the transfer speculation around all these players, and I think you have to bear all of this in mind, because if Fernandes has got like 11 clubs interested in him, what they're saying, and his head's going to start being turned. I didn't realise, actually, still Steve Grant said in a WhatsApp chat I was in today, it was a Total Saints WhatsApp group, he said that George Mendes is his agent. I didn't realise that. I should have known that. But George Mendes is Fernandes' his agent, which I think is quite interesting. He's agent to a lot of top players: Ronaldo, David De Gea, Jose Mourinho, Jamal. Yamal as well. I can't remember all the players, but I think Felix was one of them as well. There's a lot of good players that he is the agent for. Pretty big over in Portugal as well. So I think it'd be interesting what happens with Fernandes and what the valuation is. Nobody really knows because it's never really come out. I don't have any sources. I'm not here with sources of stories. I know someone said at the top of the show, your sources, your sources were telling you lies last week. I have no sources. I just share stories that I hear on the grapevine across social media and just have no sources in the club. We just literally bring what we see from Mark McAdam, from Alfie House, Sky Sports, the good sources. This is what we bring and this is what we debate and chat about on the show. But nobody has ever really come out and said what Fernandes' actual value is. So what is his value and what do Saints want for him? I'd be really intrigued to know exactly what the valuation is. But 11 clubs interested and want Fernandes. So there's no doubt that he's probably going to go. There was a fair bit of chat last week that West Ham want him. And no disrespect to West Ham now. I think he could probably do a little bit better than West Ham. I think he could do a bit better than that. I think his likely destination will be overseas. But I did say to somebody at the weekend, and they kept saying to me, and a lot of people come and said hello at the weekend. And we're talking about transfers and squad and where we're at. And a lot of people were talking about, Fernandes goes to West Ham. Can we get James Ward-Prowse the other way? Look, I think that would soften the blow. I don't think James Ward-Prowse is going to come back in a month of Sundays. He's on 110 grand a week at West Ham. I cannot see that one happening, but it would probably soften that blow slightly. But with Fernandes, it's a number of clubs across Europe and the Premier League now that are circling around the midfielder at this moment in time. Saints are bracing themselves for bids. We don't know if they've had an official bid. There is a fans forum this coming Thursday. I hope to be there for that. I'm supposed to be working, so I need to juggle my arrangements because I want to be there and try and report on it for the channel and bring that to you and get all the thoughts around it. If there's any questions that you want asked in that, I think it'd be quite interesting for you to drop them in the comments box below. Are there questions for you at the fans forum? If I get there, if I see a really good question in the chat, I might just pull it out and ask it if I get an opportunity. But it's an hour with a couple of hundred people in a room. It's really hard to get to get your question out there, really. So fans forum on Thursday, BBC Radio Solent, hosted by Adam Blackmore. That one, the club do it every year. It's quite a traditional thing, but you just end up with a lot of daft questions being asked, just nonsense stuff. Is the stadium going to be expanded, or is the women's team going to get any new signings? Is the men's team not going to buy any players? This is the sort of stuff you get. So hopefully there'll be some really good, sensible questions asked and some really testing questions for once. That's exactly what we need. Right. I wanted to look at Fernandes' statistics. I like bringing stats onto the channel, and I like to have a look on a few websites that I go on, break down player stats. And I looked at Fernandes at the end of last season. I couldn't remember till I looked again today. And actually, it's so good when you look at it. I'm going to flick it on your screen because it's worth sharing. I want to share it with you because it's tremendous, his stats. Look, he only got 2 goals. The one thing about Fernandes, doesn't quite score enough goals, does he? His XG was 4.03 and he only got 2, so he's nowhere near his XG. His assists, he got just a 4. Still not quite enough creativity. 42 shots, good pass completion rate, very, very good. Created 34 chances, wins a lot of his duels, over 50% of his duels he won last year. Discipline was decent, just 8 yellow cards. Red cards he didn't get any, obviously, and he won the team. 55 fouls. That is Fernandes' stats for last season. I thought it was worth having a look at because we looked at Dibling's the other day, and you could kind of look at Dibling's and say, you could see where he needed to improve. And I think the one thing about Matty, he's got everything, hasn't he? Probably just needs to start adding a few goals to his game. But I don't think there's any doubt that he will absolutely start doing that. There is no doubt about that. But that is Matty Fernandes' stats. Thought I'd share that on the channel with you this evening. Right, we will come to your chat very, very shortly as we work through the show. I did see today, actually, and somebody put it in the chat a minute ago, our ex-loanee from last season, Leslie Oguchukwu, was about to go to Burnley. I don't know if it's a completed deal, but I read it was a 5-year contract they're going to give him. Good signing for them. Real boost for them. Good player. Plays in the 6th and the 8th, as we know. A little bit inconsistent with his performances, but a very good signing for them. Leslie Ogachukwu. It's a permanent move from Chelsea as well. Don't know what the fee is on that one. Elsewhere, I did see today on the Saints timeline on X that Victor Johansson can leave Stoke City in the next few days or weeks. There's a few movements around him. Apparently, there's Premier League clubs interested in signing him. And I know a lot of Saints fans were very, very interested in Victor Johansson, which I absolutely get because he's a great, great goalkeeper. There's no doubt about that. But the one thing I would say is Gavin Bazunu the weekend was fantastic. His distribution was good. He was sharp off his line. He swept up. He literally, his distribution was better than Ramsdale's actually the weekend. The way he got the ball to the fullbacks, and he looked so alert. And actually, maybe that injury and the timeout, the loan, and he's come back quite hungry to improve. He's definitely going to be the number one. He started the game the weekend. There's no doubt he'll be the number one. But will someone like Victor Johansson come in? I'm not convinced. We will bring another goalkeeper in. There's no doubt about that. It's whether that I think we're more than likely to bring a number 3 in. We let Lumley go. It'd probably be a number 3. Now, just a quick reminder to you before we go to your conversation in the chat below. We'll answer some of your questions for the final 10 minutes of the show. This video drops tonight. My 25-26 championship predictions. My most anticipated, my most wanted video is here. Where do I have Southampton finishing? Is it as per that cover photo? But you have to wait and see this evening when you tune in, if you remember. If not, you have to wait till later on tomorrow. Right, let's go through the chat. St. Ben is in. Thanks for joining, Ben. Bazunu will be the number 1, but we will need a number 3. I totally agree with that as an absolute must. We will see. PSG might be in for Sigawara. I did see that actually. I read that earlier on. We will see how that one unravels. It'd be good money to get that for him. Sigawara actually played quite well second half, I thought, of the weekend, Ben. He come on and played well. He was better than Bree. I didn't think Bree had a very good first half at all. I thought he was really, really poor. But I was impressed with Sigawara and actually Wellington. When Wellington come on and play left back, he was good as well. They played in a back 5 and it suited us. Stevens in the middle. You had Quasi one side, who picks up a bit of a knock, quite a nasty ankle knock, and he managed to play through it. I'm surprised he played through it. And you had Ronnie Edwards on the other side, and I thought they looked really, really good. Jason Davenport's in. Jason's a great guy. He's going to be joining us on the channel this year with some post-match reaction. He's not in and around Southampton all the time, but we are going to get him involved in the channel because he's a great guy. Mateus Fernandes should be valued more than Dibling, but Dibling has that English tax. I totally agree. I totally agree with that. What else do we have? Someone was saying about the comments. Only sensible comments. I will get to them. Absolutely. We will get to them. I'm just reading back through some of your conversation here. Will Still, I'm sure he knows who wants out. Yeah, he will do. I think he would have had those conversations now, which is really important, isn't it? So yeah, he needs creativity. That's one thing he needs. Tactics he's tweaking all the time. I like the fact he's really, really adaptable, which I think is absolutely brilliant. Somebody else was saying here, I think it was Ben, if Dibling goes for 45 to 50 million, because that's what they're saying, Ben, aren't they? The latest tweets I saw today, the chat from journalists, the journalists that are close to Saints are pretty much saying that Saints are going to want £50 million to get this done. A week ago, there was a lot of conversation saying it was 40, 45. So, look, I think they're trying to bring people to the table. That's my gut feeling on it. Keep Dibling and Fernandes. I don't think we're going to keep either of them by the looks of it. What else do we have about Jay Robinson was good. Robert, thank you for joining the live, my friend. Thank you very much. Excited to see what Robinson brings to the table. Certainly a direct player. Yeah, he's good, mate. He was good, but Sesse was brilliant in midfield. I can't speak, I cannot speak any more highly about him. I thought he was absolutely brilliant. What else do we have? I don't want James Ward-Prowse back, said Ben. Bella Kopchap, that's gone quiet, James. Any news on Bella Kopchap? No news at all. There was a lot of talk of German clubs. Surely we need to move him on. He seems happy to just be taking the wages. Yeah, I know. Yeah, it seems like he's not on loads of money neither. I don't think he's like on big bucks, but yeah, it's just we need to move him on. He's just somebody that we absolutely need to move on. Keep your keep it coming in the chat, please. We needed number 10 is an absolute must. Who will your fullbacks be for Saturday? Thank you, Graham, for the question. My fullbacks would definitely, my starting 11 would be Bazunu in goal, definitely. And my back, I thought he looked comfortable with a 5, but do you really need to play a back 5 against Wrexham? You're probably going to have 7 new signings. They're going to be trying to bed themselves in. We'll get a really good insight from a Wrexham fan channel or podcast later on this week, so we'll get a good feeling for them. But I would imagine that the 2 fullbacks for me would definitely be Sigawara and Wellington. For me, it would be, but he did start with Manning and Bree. I just don't think Bree had a very good game, but he was up against. They're a really good side. Really good side. Interesting comment from Steve. Maybe an unfair thought, but would Aribo still be collecting full wages if he's given his headspace? Yeah, he'd be getting full wages. If he needs headspace, he doesn't know if he wants to be here. On he goes. Absolutely. Somebody said, please read my comment. I think it was. Just pop it in the comments box below. There's so many comments in the live chat. I'm just trying to filter through and find out your all the comments in there. There's a few more about Aribo. If Aribo wants to go, don't think anyone can blame him. Being completely mismanaged and using every other position than his own. Do you know what? It's a good point. And what actually is his best position? Because after, 3 years being at the club, I've still got no idea what his best position is. The best I've actually seen him playing against Saints was actually left centre-back last year. He had a couple of really good games there, didn't he? He was really good. Tim, that's really kind of you to say that. Love the channel, mine. Keep up the great content. Hopefully see you Saturday for Wrexham, coming all the way from Cork in Ireland. Tim, I will be outside the front of the stadium for about 2.5 hours before kickoff. I'm there. I usually go into the ground about half an hour before kickoff-ish. So looking forward to meeting loads of new people. I can't believe the amount of people I met on Saturday. There was 11,000 people there Saturday, and the amount of people that watch this channel, I'm quite surprised. But yeah, thank you all for tuning in. I really appreciate it. Sassy Saint, thank you for tuning in. Lovely to see all the lads back from 2 goals down instead of hanging their heads and giving up. Yeah. And do you know what, Sassy? Do you know what I loved about the weekend? Is that the fitness they've been working on. I still said it in his interview with Blackmore afterwards. He said they've worked really hard in training. Like really hard. And the fact they have worked that hard, that later in games they can kick on. When Brighton tired and Saints were fitter, I know everyone was giving him stick and think he probably shouldn't be in the starting 11, but Ryan Fraser's energy the weekend was insane. He just kept running. It was brilliant to see, and I just thought that was good. Adam Armstrong, he didn't get loads of joy, but he's still tracking back, working hard. I think the one thing you will see is a Saints side that won't give up this year, and I don't think we'll be caving in, and I think we'll be fitter than a lot of sides. So I really do feel that we could I think we could really cause some problems. Right, you said read my comments. There was a lot of your comments though. Danny Rowe is the best manager. I'm not sure about that. I'm not sure about Danny Rowe. I think we've got a very good manager, personally, in Will Steele. He interviewed the best out of everybody, that he is the Saints manager for a reason, because they interviewed a lot of managers, and I'm pretty sure you'll find they did interview Danny Rowe and have many conversations with him. Somebody said James Ward-Prowse was the main reason why we got relegated. I thought he was good for periods, Prowse, but wasn't probably the best leader in the world. I think he was a really good at pass completion rate, works really hard, but I just think he's one of those hard-working players that's never really going to sort of find that killer pass and really go on and really hurt teams. Mike, I did try and find this one out the weekend, but I didn't really get an answer to it. But I did ask the question. I don't know. It is the answer. I'm not going to mug you off and say it was 22k when it's not. So, what else do we have? Good to see fitness coming through. Some players look I think the big thing about fitness is that we've struggled in it for many years, and the great news is that he has has worked on that over pre-season. I think we will see the benefits of that at the weekend. There's no doubt about that. There's no doubt about that. Jack Stevens is so overhated. Crucial experience. Yeah, do you know what? I've been saying it for a while actually as well. I totally agree with you. It takes a lot of unfair criticism, absolutely. And I think for me, he's a leader, knows the club. And I thought he had a good game the weekend. I thought he was one of the real positives in the weekend. No matter what anyone says, I thought he defended really well. Look, Brighton, a Premier League side, it was hard to really, to really gauge sort of like where we'll be at in the Championship when you're playing a really good sort of top 8 Premier League side. And they're a good side, really good, really good. So for me, tremendous stuff. Ramsdale to Newcastle's done. That is a loan to the end of the season, £4 million that they've given Saints, according to reports. And they're paying all of his wages as well. James Archer is talking about Ryan Fraser that I was speaking about a minute ago. Ryan Fraser gets a lot of stick, but it's quality. Bright spark in a negative team last season, similar to when Stuart Armstrong was with us. I think he start the weekend, Fraser, and I'm pleased he starts because his work rate and energy on Saturday was brilliant. It was everywhere. And I thought he got better as the game went. He was the fittest player on the pitch by an absolute country mile. Fitter than anyone from Brighton. He ran more than anyone. So I thought he was absolutely brilliant. Absolutely tremendous. So a lot of Stevens will definitely split opinion. But yeah, I think a few of us will disagree on it. Watford sold out away. Ipswich is sold out away. I won't be at Ipswich away, but I will be at Watford away. So I will be doing all the home games and the Watford away game. James Ball, what else do we have? I want KWP back. That definitely won't be happening. That is for sure. Love the... Oh, that's very kind. Thank you very much indeed. Yeah, continue to post. They're regular. The most viewed Southampton fan channel now by quite some way. Content galore coming this week. We've got Premier League. We've got Championship predictions this week. Got Premier League predictions next week. Not that we're that bothered by the Premier League, but I will cover some thoughts on that. But it's all about Championship and Southampton for me. And I will be, I'll be chatting to hopefully a couple of guests this week as well. I won't give too much away because people let you down. You ask people and you get promises and it doesn't happen. But I do hope to have some really good guests on here. I will be at Wrexham the weekend, and there will be fan cam after the game the weekend as well. We are going to bring that back this season. Ben said to me, good question, Ben. Martin, do you think our current goal scorers are good enough to get us promoted? We're being tipped for top scorers. It's interesting, isn't it? Armstrong, who's naff in the Prem. Archer, who struggled in the Prem. Brereton Diaz, never a Prem player. And Stewart, never a Prem player, all being odds-on favourites to be the top scorers in the league. I do think that Cam Archer, if he can get early goals and get confidence, I think will go on and bag a shed load of goals. Adam Armstrong, I'm really pulled on at the moment. I love him to bits. I think the world of him. I just love him for what he did for us last time around in the Championship. But I just don't know where his body language is at. I think it's an intriguing one at the moment. I've watched him a bit. He scored a few goals, and I think he'd play a big part for us next season. But we just don't have those wide options, and that worries me. Damien Downs, I'm not sure he's going to get the goals that we probably need. I think he's a bit raw. Again, it's all about confidence and rhythm. And when you've got so many players that can sort of play in those positions, sort of certainly you've got Stewart, Downs, Archer, that would all probably want to play through the middle. Archer didn't look that comfortable playing off the flank the weekend. I didn't think never looked like it was going to hurt them really. But it might be different in the Prem. In the Championship to the Prem. The Prem's just a massive step upwards. Jay Robinson's brilliant, mate. How good is he? He's brilliant. And so is Moses Sessé as well. Moses Sessé is going to be like a star. And I wouldn't be surprised if he starts the weekend. That is how good he was the weekend. He was that good. He was prepared, Sessé, the weekend to pick up the ball with somebody close to him, Premier League players, Premier League midfielders around him, and he was prepared to pick up the ball and just take it and give it and go. And his energy and work rate was really, really good. I thought he was absolutely tremendous. I think it's too early for him, Stephen, in all honesty. I think he looks really good, but he did pick up a nasty injury at the weekend. He got proper whacked on Saturday early in the game. How he carried on, I don't know. Don Ballard will be loaned out, by the way, Steve, I think. I don't think he's hardly played any part. We've not really seen anything of him at all. I don't see him playing any role at all. I tell you what, I do feel nervous. Somebody mentioned Ipswich earlier on in the chat. I can't see the comment now, but I tell you what, it does worry me. We're playing Ipswich at such an early time of the season, such a big rival for promotion this year. I think we'll be battling it out with them, and we play them so early with the transfer window wide open. It is not ideal, really. Good to get Wrexham out of the way before they buy up the league. I'm not convinced they will buy up the league. I think they will. They're obviously they've signed Cody. They've signed a lot of players. I'm not convinced that everybody thinks they're going to be like top, sort of playoffs contention for autos. I just think Leicester, Saints, and Ipswich have so much more money and money. You'd say parachute. They probably don't have more money. They have more experience, better players, and a bit more sort of like experience at this level. That's the only thing you'd say. I'm just not convinced that Wrexham are going to totally and utterly run away with it. I might be proved wrong, but I will give you all my season predictions. A video drops to members tonight. So if you're a YouTube member, you have to have perks. You pay, I think it's from £1.99 my membership. It's not loads of money, but there are perks. You will get loads more as the season goes as well. We are bringing back the fan cam. I said that a little while ago. There's going to be some great post-match reaction coming your way. I did as well. I did expect Kwashi to come off several times at the weekend. I did. Absolutely hope that he is okay. Birmingham are the team to watch. I agree with that. I think they will be really good. Somebody did message me. It might have been you that had spoken to Flynn Downs about his injury. He didn't train last week. I think he'd be touch and go for the weekend, Flynn Downs. Somebody said we will win the league. Well, we need to get organised really, really quickly. Wanted to see Nathan Wood get a chance. Said Adam in the chat as well. I think it's interesting. Nathan Wood, I think he's looked good when I've seen him play. He could still get a chance. He played in that first game. He played 60 minutes that first game on Saturday. So there's a really good chance, isn't there, that he could still start the weekend. I'd probably start him over Kwasi at this moment in time just because he knows the league and that experience. But maybe still thinking about pace, because you think about Kwasi, he's quicker than Wood. Like, he is quicker. He's so quick, Kwasi, and that's why you want him. Look, he just needs a little bit of nurturing. Look, he's going to be a shit-hot defender. There's no doubt about that. He's only young, isn't he? He's like 20 years old. He's going to be mustard. We've got some great talent. Adam, you need to stay tuned, my friend, to my video, which goes out after this video. So the minute this video finishes, I will drop to members my championship predictions. Tim's gone with a whopping 96 points for the Saints, and I have a new member join the channel as well. 2-in-1 shampoo. Thank you very much for your membership. I really do appreciate that. It's very, very kind of you. I've enjoyed the show. Hope you've enjoyed it as well. It is going to be a mega busy week on this channel. There won't be anything going out tomorrow other than the prediction video if you're not a member. And then as the week goes, we've got a Wrexham build-up video with a Wrexham fan. Then we've got the fans forum on Thursday night. We'll cover that one as well. And then on the weekend, I will be there Saturday. All your predictions as well. We'll get all those in one of the shows as well. And I'm really, really looking forward to getting to St Mary's at the weekend. Somebody's saying 102 points. Ben Carroll, 100 points. Yeah, I think it will be really intriguing. I haven't done actually my prediction for points, actually. I've not done that yet. So I totally agree with this comment as well. I just see it drop in a minute ago. Southampton, Leicester have Premier League infrastructure in a stadium, training facilities, ex-Premiership players, staff behind the scenes, experience, something Wrexham and Birmingham cannot buy. And that is a really big thing. Saints and Leicester have been up and down last couple of years. They know it, and they know what's required at this level. And I think that was the thinking of the staff they brought in around Will Steele as well. So, yes, one of those guests could be one of those people on that list. So hopefully, but we'll do it live. If we're going to do it, we're going to do it live. We're not going to do it pre-recorded. I'll do it live, and I'll try and organise. If we can get one of these guys on, we will get them live so you can have your say and you can ask the questions. What I was going to do with Ricky, I've got an idea, is that we maybe do the chat. So it's on Super Chat. So people can ask questions, and all the funds raised from the video we will give to the Saints Foundation. I need to put that to him and see if he'll do that or Matt will do it, because I think it would be good to have them live, because not all of you guys have that opportunity to ask questions. Look, they go and do stuff around the South Coast with Blackmore, on the Isle of Wight where I live. But there's a lot of people tuning in from Australia, New Zealand, all over the world. Wouldn't it be great if we can have it live, a live Q&A, and we could bring Ricky or Matt on? I think it'd be great for a lot of you guys, and it'd be a really nice thing to do. So yeah, we will definitely look to do that. Zach said just before I go, it was a good Manning is a very experienced championship player. I think he was one of our better players last year. 5 goals, 10 assists the season before he joined us. Yeah, I think he'd play a big role, Zach. I don't think there's any doubt about that. I'll make that's quality if you would. That would get him on. I think that'd be really, really good to get him on. Matt Letizia. Ben saw him the other week. He got him a little video for me as well. So a massive thank you to Ben for getting that as well, because I thought that was absolutely tremendous. It was brilliant. Yeah, we will get some good people on. That's for sure. We will sort it out. There's loads to do in amongst juggling. I'm doing a bit of bar work at the moment. I was saying on my vlog at the weekend. So like Saturday, I did the game. I got up about 9 o'clock, left the house at 10:30, did the Saints game, tried to create some video content, got the boat back at 6, and went to work at 6:30. Literally got off the boat and worked till 1:45 in the morning. I was absolutely knackered yesterday. I still feel really, really tired now. Absolutely knackered. Mike said Portsmouth to finish in the bottom 6. Oh, you had to tune into my video, Mike. You might be angry when you see my video, mate. Talking of Mike's a cyclist like I am as well. So I did that on Saturday, did the bar work, and did 40 miles on the bike yesterday, Mike, as well. I don't know how I did it, but I felt absolutely shot this morning, and I'm literally running on coffee at this moment in time just to keep me going. I'm absolutely shattered. Right, I hope you've enjoyed the show. I've done 36 minutes. I did longer than I thought, so I was only going to be here for like 25 minutes or so. I've really, really enjoyed putting the show together. I hope you've enjoyed everything we brought you on the show today. The big news really is around Tyler Dibling yet again. Dibling, 50 million price tag, question mark I put next to it because we don't know if that is definitely what they want. But it does look that way, that Matheus Fernandes has interest as well. Tyler Dibling, 50 million. If he's worth 50, Matheus has got to be worth around the same, you'd say. You would say around the same. Right. I've spoken enough. I've waffled enough. Hope you've enjoyed it. I'll see you again really, really soon.